This is Misha Ladder, and it's not what you think. Today we are going to talk about bad places. Sometimes I find myself in a bad place, emotionally. I feel miserable or sad or depressed. If you ask me, how are you? And I was honest, I'd say, I'm in a bad place right now. There are several reasons why we end up in a bad place, and why we want to stay there. All these reasons are based on how we define ourselves. Here are some examples. Reason 1. Victim. When I identify myself with a victim, I end up in a bad place because it's somebody else's fault. My manager said the project needs to be done this week, and now I have to suffer and work day and night. Do I really work day and night? Not likely. I just feel like I have to. I have to suffer because of my manager, because of my situation. It seems unfair. It seems wrong. I feel bad for myself. I feel I was treated unfairly, and I am a victim. I am suffering, but I don't deserve to suffer. Reason 2. Loser. Often I feel like a loser when I get a rejection. I want to hang out with a friend that I really like, and I constantly get excuses why they cannot do it. Or I apply for a really exciting position at work and get rejected. Now I am in a bad place, not because it's somebody else's fault, but because I totally belong there. People like me should be in the bad places because we are losers. It feels right that I'm in this bad place, justified. Losers deserve to be in a bad place, deserve to suffer because of who they are. Reason 3. Guilty. When I do something that I think I shouldn't be doing, I feel guilty. I've been eating so many sweets and not exercising, so now I'm out of shape. Of course I'm in a bad place. This is my punishment for not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. For the guilty, the reason why they're in the bad place is because they put themselves there as a punishment for the crimes that they committed. Now I need to suffer because I deserve to suffer for what I've done. Guess what? Even if we end up in a bad place, we don't have to stay there. If I feel like a victim, it's important to remember that I have a choice. I'm trying to meet a deadline set by my manager because I choose to do this, not because my manager is making me do it. I have a choice. I can tell my manager that my life-work balance is important to me and the project is not going to get completed on time. Period. And then deal with the consequences. Ultimately, it's my choice whether to stay at my work or to quit. Knowing that I own my choices allows me to stop being a victim. If I feel like a loser, it's important to remember that the reason I feel like a loser is because my self-worth was questioned. But ultimately, I am the one determining my self-worth, not other people or circumstances. I can imagine somebody else who always gets rejected, yet they think that they're totally worthy, and it's just a matter of time before others will see that. Despite all the rejections, they wouldn't feel like losers. And if I feel guilty, it's important to remember that self-punishment is only useful as a reminder of something important. If I keep eating sweets and not feeling guilty about it, it means I don't care about my health. But I do, and my guilt reminds me of that. If I remember that it's important for me to be in shape, I may stop feeling guilty about not being in shape and put my energy into figuring out how to be in shape. We all may end up in a bad place occasionally, but remember that we don't have to stay there.